our focus over the last maybe over a year or so, or maybe 2 years now, has been to continue to make our brand vibrant and relevant to all the newer generation of consumers and customers and what have you. And in keeping with that pioneering spirit, and also as a pioneering business unit, we've been working on important stakeholder needs and expectations, and those stakeholder needs and expectations largely involve products and services that we design and deliver. And as a leading brand in the business of locks, and also a very strong brand in the business of architectural solutions across various product segments, we have been working on those needs and expectations, and in line with the the overall brand journey that we've been on for a long time. And now, as you know, recently we repositioned our brand, and the work is still on in terms of how we are going to be actually exciting our new generation of consumers and customers with respect to the experiences that we can deliver, and which are memorable experiences that we would want the consumers and customers to be really walking away with the kind of payoffs that we are looking at. So the focus has been on now, as India is going the digital way, and digital has become the cornerstone of almost everything that we do in our lives, in all walks of life. So we have been also for the past over 2 years making large investments in driving now a whole new range of designed and made in India digital safety solutions. And right here in Goa, we manufacture those digital locks. Recently, we have launched India's first IoT device, which we call as the Advantis IoT 9. Advantis IoT 9. And apart from that, we have a whole range of new products that we have launched and will be doing so over the course of next few weeks, both in the residential space and in the institutional and hospitality space. And at the end of the day, I think there are 3 things that the consumers are really looking for, or users are really looking for. Clearly, one is enhanced safety when it comes to digital safety, because it offers bespoke safety features for different members of the family. Excuse me. Hello. A lot of these consumer expectations generally, I think, can be summarized as 3 important ones. Enhanced safety, as I mentioned. 2 is convenience, and 3 is, of course, it enhances the aesthetics on the door that you install these digital locks. And we have a range of digital locks which can actually meet all the stakeholder needs and expectations, and more so when we talk about architects and interior designers. They have a special affinity and focus on, apart from functionality, also on how the locks would look on the door for their clients. And the same applies to institutional business segment or market segment, where for the hospitality industry and many other such verticals, including now in healthcare, education, and logistics, and many other things, where digital is finding its way slowly but surely. So we have, in fact, the last couple of years, we have taken a lot of these inputs from the key stakeholders and designed our locks. And I think some of you had the opportunity to see those locks today when you all had been to the factory premises, and you had also had the chance to look at the experience center. So I think, as I see it, if I look at the market that there is for locks as a category, and the growth that the market is witnessing, the digital segment of the overall locks category is witnessing a really, really robust kind of growth year on year. We have over the last 2 to 3 years grown 45% YOY in digital locks. We are expecting the market to also be growing at about 30% plus every year, or you can call it the compounded annual growth rate. Today, I mean, different estimates suggest that the digital locks could be around 10% of the overall category. So overall category is about 7,000 crores. So digital could be about 700 crores. And it is growing rapidly. And the other good thing is that we do find that the newer bunch of consumers and the younger bunch of consumers are taking to digital locks like fish would take to water, because they are very, very tech savvy. They prefer to have products which spell both technology, convenience, and also have a brag value, at the end of the day. So, we conclude this, fact that younger consumers are actually taking to digital locks purely from the fact that our presence on e-marketplaces, the e-com sites and also the quick commerce sites has actually helped in making big strides in selling digital locks. And in fact, we in fact were very, very pleasantly, in fact, I would say, surprised to see a sudden surge in demand for digital locks on the e-marketplaces and including now quick commerce. In fact, if I talk about e-commerce in general, over the last 1 year, we have already doubled our business of e-commerce. And today, we are the leading brand of e-commerce insofar as digital locks is concerned on some of the key e-marketplaces, the best known e-marketplaces. We also are doubling each year our overall revenue from e-commerce apart from digital. And we plan to do so the next 2 to 3 years, where I think by the year 27, 28, I think we should be at least 10% of all top line revenues coming from e-commerce and including quick commerce. Quick commerce of the total e-commerce is about 33%. Even quick commerce is rapidly growing. In fact, as you would have seen some recent articles in the media, for some reasons, except for India, I don't think quick commerce has really worked as well in other countries. So there's something that Indians are looking for when it comes to quick commerce, and I think we have been able to spot that and early on and make our presence really be felt by really upping our game on quick commerce. I think alongside that, we've been also focusing on ensuring that we kind of deliver the right products for the e-commerce customers, in the sense that you don't really sell everything that you sell in the traditional trade in e-commerce and vice versa. So I think that's been the focus. And we also have found in our research, apart from the 3 things that I mentioned about enhanced safety, convenience, and aesthetics, I think whichever stakeholder we have spoken to, what has really stood out is the Make in India claim, as we are very proudly able to make for the digital locks that we're making. We've been always making mechanical locks now for decades, but designed and made in India for the world is our current, in a way, statement that we make in almost everything that we design and manufacture so far as digital locks is concerned. Even that is becoming very big. And as you know, the government of India is now, promoting 2 things. One is they want Indian products and services to be, near world class now. They want to up the standards of our products for Indian consumers. They also want to ensure safety and protection of Indian consumers, privacy, and many other things when it comes to making sure that our products are made in India and they are certified to Indian standards, which is the new BIS standards as we call them. And in every single category across the spectrum, you find that now India is really taking big steps in defining new standards. which are almost the same as what the world follows, or whichever part of the world follows. We're trying to take the best of all the worlds in terms of writing our standards. We are also the convener of a lot of such segments where we are actually recommending standards to the government of India, and then having discussion around it. So I think in digital locks also we find that made in India, and the fact that we are going to be offering necessary privacy and safety of our citizens in terms of the data that we have, which is stored on the cloud servers which are located in India, and there is no data privacy related anxiety amongst Indian consumers when it comes to Godrej digital locks. So I mean, we've been working on that for quite some time, and we've been developing our own tech platforms to ensure that we are able to launch the kind of products that we are aspiring to. We are also looking at opportunities that there may be existing to really bring together several other product categories on the digital platform and offer solutions which could lead to even more I think significant contribution that we can make, given that we are into so many consumer facing categories involving safety and security, which could lead to opportunities in the automation space as well, the home automation space as well. So I think these are some of the things that we've been doing, and and I think more of it you will get to see, and especially when we have now gone about repositioning the brand, giving it a whole new look and identity, and also making sure that it is not just something that is restricted to a few things, but it is kind of taking care of all the touch points that we encounter as a consumer or as a customer. So that's a big piece. And the few other things that we've been doing is that we have been enhancing our capability to design products and services which again are in a way innovation driven designs, in the sense that designs that actually meet the Indian needs and expectations, because there are a lot of products that are available in the Indian market which are so-called global brands or global products, but we do realize that in our research, and since Godrej has always been consumer research driven organization, we always would like to get under the skin of our consumers, especially Indian consumers, to understand their habits and practices, and also their other needs, to be able to offer products that serve those needs. So in every single segment that we are present in, even in architectural solutions, you will find, especially now if you look at a few interesting segments within architectural solutions, which is also now something that every Indian consumer is aspiring to, is doing up a modern kitchen. And if you look at the way kitchens are getting modernized, we had done this study a few years back, and we realized that what India had to offer as products in the kitchen space or in the kitchen organization space was not meeting the Indian kitchen requirements across the nation. And we have different food habits and different ways in which we make our food, and the different implements and utensils and vessels that we use both for cooking and for eating. The solutions that were available in the market were just not meeting the consumer needs and expectations. So we designed a whole new range of smart kitchen drawers and organizers, which we call as Skiddo. The acronym is called Skiddo. Again, that is something, I don't know whether you got an opportunity to see that at the Experience Center, and you must have seen the kind of stuff that we've done. So this is like absolute frugal yet very, very smart way of ensuring utilization of the space that you have under the counter. So those solutions that we've offered have also been liked by the architect community and the interior design community, and that's again designed in India for the world and also made in India. So the point that I'm trying to make is that the focus today is largely to ensure that Godrej Locks and Architectural Solutions, as part of the large conglomerate that we are in, I think will obviously don the mantle of doing things that the brand now requires to be done, in the sense that given the kind of uplift that the brand is looking for, and given the fact that in a way the brand values that we always cherish, apart from the fact that we are the most trusted, reliable, and the so-called darling of the masses, we also want to ensure that we move the needle on other such values that the brand wants to really make an impact, which is to do with modernity, contemporariness, high-techness, and stuff like that. And these things that I'm talking about, and the work that we are doing in the space of digital locks, architectural solutions, the new and upcoming, emerging new e-commerce channel that we are working on in order to make sure that we offer an omni-channel approach to all our consumers. All these are actually directed towards the same end objective, which is to make sure that the brand continues to keep or being relevant for the consumers and the new emerging consumers, and seen to be vibrant and seen to be at the cutting edge of innovation and design-led innovation, as we call it. I think that's the broad thrust of what I wanted to share today on the day that we're doing the GVs Awards. Of course, in the evening we will have the results of the awards also known. The winners would be picked up during the course of the event, and the same would be shared with you. But this time the event has become even more big, because the kind of participation that we've had, the entries that we've had in different categories, and the the very, very close competition that we've had between different project owners that have been evaluated by a eclectic mix of the jury of architects and interior designers that we have gotten together to evaluate the entries. I think this year has been a very exciting year, and I do think that the focus that we are now putting on ensuring that the brand is all the time up there, when it comes to driving both consideration and preference in different categories. And since we are a conglomerate which has both consumer-facing businesses and engineering and tech businesses, and different kind of industrial products and project businesses, I think it is important that as consumer-facing businesses, we create the kind of impact that we're looking for. And I think we are already seeing that when it comes to a whole lot of players in the business, ultimately it gets back to the fact that who has the pedigree to be really seen to be offering the best solutions when it comes to digital safety. And I think that makes the brand, or that kind of in a way positions the brand in a manner that is in a way advantageous to the brand, and leads to favorable predisposition that the consumers have for the brand. And I think we will only strengthen this over a period of time. There are a lot of new plans afoot with respect to how we would want to take this new repositioning and the rollout that we've done across different markets and different touch points. And work has already started. We would also be in a way communicating with all our target consumers across various categories. And the whole next year and the year after that is going to be very exciting for us at Godrej Enterprises Group. So I think that's about the situation that we are in, and the private consumption expenditure that we've seen that has in a way not been as healthy as we would have liked it to be. But there are different areas and avenues where people are spending money, and obviously certain priorities keep changing over a period of time. But I think we can't complain about our current financial year being bad. It's been quite decent. We will obviously be looking at the next financial year with a lot of hope, because we realize that the best part is that after the COVID distress that we saw in the urban or the rural economies, or the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 towns, that is now behind us. It's a thing of the past. We have seen tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 towns, as we call them, urban towns, really coming back with a lot of energy. We've seen some good growth in those towns. Our share of our overall revenues from those tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 towns is increasing. Today it stands at 26% of our total revenues coming from tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, and we expect that to get to in a very short possible time to get to nearly 40-50% of our total revenues, because that's one market segment that is doing fairly well as compared to urban India. Urban India has seen a change in priorities in the last 1 year. Rural India is beginning to look at the priorities that are critical to them, because after the distress, they're now getting back into the market with rural incomes rising. And with the government of India doing a lot of things and a lot of popular schemes that they have launched for the folks in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 to get them into the mainstream of the economy and to ensure that the have-nots also now participate in the India's growth story, as we call it, the aspirational India. I think we are seeing a lot of traction happening in those towns, and we would push for growth in those towns. And on the back of that particular story, I see the next 2 to 3 years to be very interesting, especially the next year. We'll probably close this year in revenues over 1250, 1260 crores. We are looking at about 12 to 15% growth next year too. The economists, and more so the Indian Reserve Bank and the Finance Ministry's GDP projections are around 7% growth next year. We generally use a ballpark of 2x the GDP for our own growth. So we are targeting about 12 to 15% growth next year over what we will achieve this year. And we would want to continue to grow to become a 2,500 crore company by 2028. That's the broad numbers that I can share with you. We continue to be a leading brand in the business of locking solutions, and we are a very strong number 2 brand in the architectural solution space, and we have an aspiration to become even more strong in some of the key segments such as kitchen fittings, such as door controls, such as furniture fittings, because we have a lot of new products that we've launched, and you would have seen them at the Experience Center, the bed fittings, the wardrobe fittings, and also the home decor handles that you saw, and the globe that you saw at the entrance. All of that is largely to push the envelope on architectural fittings and solutions.